Don't get me and Josh started.
Oh, that's what we're here. That's what we're here to do is get you two wound
We
down.
go way back.
We do. We can't talk. We can't talk that kind of talk.
There you go. Good. I'm all in, man.
Oh man, that's great.
Welcome to the Hometown Bluegrass Show weekly podcast presented by Allen Music Shop. Co-hosts Tim Batts and 20-time Bluegrass Guitar Player of the Year Josh Williams will talk about the latest bluegrass news, interview folks in the industry, and give you lighthearted stories and music tips along the way. Now, here's Tim and Josh.
Hey.
What was that?
I don't know. He said, "Hey, there's Tim and Josh," and I said, "Hey, hey. Thank you, Dr. Jeff."
Yeah, no doubt. I think you're delirious. You're really tired.
I am. I'm very tired.
You had quite a busy weekend.
I did, man, and I didn't get home until like 2:30 in the morning, and then I had to be up for work.
This was on.
This was on Monday night.
Oh,
yeah, so I had to be up work yesterday for went very little sleep. I still don't think I'm caught up.
I bet not. You're getting too old for that, man.
I am, man.
Well, if you don't know, Josh played at the Tony Rice Memorial Bluegrass Festival in North Carolina over the weekend, and how'd it go, man?
Dude, it went so good.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Big crowd.
Yeah, we had a good show Saturday night with Southern Legacy, know. And then Sunday night, I actually got to do a live performance of the Church Street Blues album, which I was very nervous about. Yeah, I remember telling Cody, the promoter, hey, I was going to do that, and I think it'd be a really cool idea and stuff. And like the next day or two, and I started, working on it and whatnot, started getting really nervous thinking, what have I committed myself to do here? But it was so cool, and the people seemed to really appreciate it, and that was very cool.
Was that how they closed the show, or was that?
No, there was actually Exile closed the show.
Oh,
which
that's
is
right.
yeah, they were
that.
there, but and that's the thing that people need to realize is that this is only the second year for this festival.
Oh, okay.
And B, Tony was not just bluegrass.
Yeah.
Tony, loved all kinds of music.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could and he was, still alive, we'd have Miles Davis there because, he and John Coltrane, that was Tony's favorite artists, favorite musicians. So, I mean, you got to have those types of people,
Yeah.
So, but we had Ricky Skaggs there on Saturday night, and he just did an amazing show. And the crazy thing is that was his first time back to that music park since he had played it with, I think he said he was with the Stanley Brothers.
Wow.
Or at least with Ralph, anyway, when he was young.
Many moons.
Yes. So that would have been in the 60s. So yeah, he returns to the park, for the first time. Of course, the park, or that festival that was at Camp Springs shut down, gosh, many years ago, and, but this family, Cody Johnson and his family bought the place and started doing shows there again. In fact, he even tried to maintain like the original part of the stage. If you ever seen the, Country Soul or something like that. It's a Time Life thing that came out about bluegrass music, but it's at that show. It was done in the 60s, late 60s. I guess it would have been 1971 when the documentary that came out.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so that is of course Tony, was in that, but a few years prior to that is when Tony was at the festival. And Sam Bush, who was roughly about the same age as him, found him sitting on a rock playing guitar like Clarence White and said, "Hey, would you want to join our band, the Bluegrass Alliance?" That's what started Tony's career.
Really?
It started right there in that campground.
So he was just there camping or whatever.
He was there. I mean, he had been playing, don't get me wrong, but I mean, like his professional career started right there when he joined the Bluegrass Alliance. And, he was 18, 20 years old, and went from there to do humongous things. He actually left the Alliance. His first show, or I'm sorry, his last show with the Alliance and his first show with J.D. Crowe were both the same day as they were there filming that documentary.
Really?
So when you see Tony with both bands, that was his last show with the Alliance and his first show with Crowe.
Wow.
That was 1971. Huh. Isn't that cool?
That is really cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty neat.
So that was before he even had the herringbone, the 58957.
Wow.
He was playing. He had I don't know what the guitar was that he was playing with the Alliance, but I do know the guitar that he was playing with Crowe was Hilo Brown's guitar. So
is that the guitar you held this past weekend? Or?
No, the one that I held was 58957. That's the one that used to belong to Clarence White.
Gotcha.
With the large cutout sound hole in it.
Yeah.
So that's a very iconic guitar.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, we may try to post a picture of that on our Facebook page if you want to see that guitar. Josh got to hold it and play it. And
I got to play it quite a bit.
Over the weekend. And, not on stage, but at Tony's house, former home.
Yeah, at his daughter's house.
Daughter's home, yeah.
I got to go hang out with the family and spend some real time with them and I even got to spend time with the guitar and I even got some time to spend with Tony's ashes. That meant a lot to me. It kind of gave me an opportunity to just kind of have a moment with him and thank him for everything. But yeah, and I Miss Pam, his widow, his wife, wanted me to come outside and sit on the swing and do a couple of songs so she could video it. And India, his daughter, wanted me to do a song for Winter's Night, so I did. They got video of that as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I felt Tony's presence.
That's cool.
I really, truly did. It was, and even she, India, mentioned that to me before. She was, when we were talking about it after I had already left, and she said, I felt Tony here today. And I said, that's crazy that you say that because so did I. Like, I actually felt that. And it was a really cool day.
Well, that is nice.
But that's what put me home so late.
Yeah.
Well, and I wasn't going to miss that, though.
Oh, no. So this was on Monday or on Memorial Day after the festival.
Yeah, this was on Monday.
So you played a lot those songs on the Church Street Blues album many times. Was there any song on there that you just really hadn't played a lot, that you really had to learn?
Actually, there was quite a few of those that I had never really played before.
I'm guessing Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is kind of tough.
Surprisingly, it was. Yes, it is definitely tough. And I had the lyrics up there with me, so I was too nervous to not have all of them, But that is one song that I actually have sang before.
Oh, okay.
I
guess I've heard you do that.
With my Lightfoot kick that I was on, that was one of the things that started it because my son loves that song, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, So I have done that one before, but not much.
Yeah.
But there were songs like Pride of Man and House Carpenter, stuff like that I had never done before.
Yeah.
So
those kind of B-side songs, I guess, and type things that aren't as popular as some of the other ones, Jerusalem Bridge and Church and all that. So that's cool.
But he did them all equally.
Is
amazing.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the record from start to finish is just great.
Oh, it is. I've listened to it many times. Came out January the 1st, 1983.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
crazy.
Yeah.
Man, his career, for somebody who was so famous throughout the 90s and 2000s and all that, for him to have most of his recordings were so much before that, like in the late 70s and early 80s was, that was his prime. That's when he was singing great and playing, at his peak and just, for somebody like me who was actually, I was born in 80. So most of those albums were already out and even, old by the time I got to where I was playing, So when I saw Tony, I was just like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? This guy is so cool and so good. I want to do this, And I was still playing banjo back then because I wanted to be Earl Scruggs and J.D. Crowe, But had it not been for Crow, I would have never, heard Tony the first time.
Yeah.
So, and my friend Jamie Jameson over in Marshall County, he got an intimate lesson with Tony Rice on homespun VHS. That's how long ago it was. And that's the first time I ever saw it.
Yeah.
I saw Tony, and I watched him play. And he was doing most of the songs from the Church Street Blues album.
Oh, really?
But he was also doing some other ones. He did like Georgia on My Mind. And I can't remember what all songs that he did do. But he had some just really great songs on there.
Yeah.
So... And I got to watch exactly how he played Church Street Blues and watch his thumb move and do the cross picking and the different sweeps and stuff. And I was just like, man, how does this guy do this? And it just sounded so beautiful. And it was all live right there. Like there was no second takes. He was just playing it live. And it was flawless.
That's cool.
Unbelievable, man.
That is cool. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I mean, that had to be a great experience. And so I know you guys with Southern Legacy are starting to kind of kick off quite a few shows too.
We are,
this
man.
summer.
Yeah.
You got several gigs lined up, so be sure and visit Southern Legacy on Facebook and check them out and see if you can attend one of their shows live this summer.
Yes, please do. We'll be in Cherokee, North Carolina next week. Will be the Cherokee Festival, and then we're also in Baghdad, Kentucky. Did you know there was a Baghdad, Kentucky?
I did know that, actually.
I did not know that
you not?
until we got booked at this place, but we're playing at Farm Jam there in Baghdad on the 8th. So
they're not terrorists; they're just regular old Kentuckians.
I haven't been there yet to see, but I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, we record this in far western Kentucky at Allen Music Shop here on the banks of the Ohio River, literally. And,
That's right.
So if you're in the western Kentucky, southwest Tennessee area, Josh is playing this coming weekend at Union City, Tennessee.
That's right, yeah.
Discovery Park of America, which is a really cool place.
I have never been there, but my kids have been there, but I have yet. This will be my first time to be.
I've been by it many times, but I've never been in it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward, and it's part of their Rhythm on the Rails festival that they're having. So
you'll have to do a few train songs, I guess.
Oh, yeah. We'll figure something out.
I'm sure you will. Pull something out of your butt.
I'm known to do that.
No doubt. I've been a witness.
What is it you're doing over here? What?
Well, I had my those Tony songs pulled up on my phone here, so I could talk intelligently about it. So,
Well, that's good. That's good.
Well, yeah, man.
Just don't play. Make sure you know what you're playing from the pizza tapes before you play them.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I listened to the pizza tapes intimately a few weeks ago.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so neat. And we mentioned it, and I thought, man, I've got to just listen to that whole thing. And I just was just sitting there jaw dropped, and I was like, whoa, glad I didn't play this on a radio show.
Yes.
The Hometown Bluegrass Show also airs as a radio show where I play music every Sunday night on a local Paducah classic country station, Willie 102, and so I'm glad I didn't just bust out on that. Because a few songs had some choice words in
They did. A little bit of profanity.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, well, cool, man. Well, we got a great show lined up. We're just really excited about our guest tonight. We've got Junior Sisk coming up. Going to talk to Junior and just plumb tickled about that for sure. And we're going to get Josh to play something here in just a minute. I'm sure you don't know what, but we're going to play something. And we're just going to have a good time. Usually before he and I go on the air, that sounds cool, didn't it? Before we go on the air.
Before we go on
the air and here in the studio, we're always listening to some kind of bluegrass music, get all jacked up. Tonight, we were listening to CeeLo Green.
Yes, we were.
And I was like, what are we doing here? This is a bluegrass show.
Oh my goodness. It's so good, though, wasn't it?
CeeLo Green is just bad. He's cool, man.
He is so good.
Yeah.
Such a good singer.
So we got jacked up on CeeLo Green to do the Hometown Bluegrass Show.
But there are not many people that can say that.
I bet you're exactly right. And CeeLo, if you're listening, thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. We're big fans,
That's
man.
right, big fans. You think he'd be listening to the Hometown Bluegrass?
You know, you just never know. Just never know. I heard from my friend. Actually, he sent me a message on Facebook, and I was really, really pleased to see it. But Dave Carroll had sent me a message on Facebook. I'm trying to get it up here where I could read it to you. But it said, oh, here we go. He said, man, I caught your podcast. I really appreciate the shout out from when we was talking about, he's in Hammertown. And we got talking about Hammertown last week or week before, whenever that was. And anyway, he said, man, I just caught that. He said, I really appreciate the shout out. You're the best and hope to see you soon. So I was like, you bet, buddy. You know, it's just so cool that people are checking it out. I actually heard several people this past weekend say, hey, we just want you to know we listen to your podcast and we love it. And it's just like, that's awesome. Well, that is so cool.
That is really cool.
And these are North Carolina people that are listening to us.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Not just our moms.
No.
I thought those two listeners we had were just my mom and your mom. But
That's some lady during my my set, right as we was fixing to get started on my the Church Street Blues album set. This lady had kind of gotten quiet, and I was fixing to start, and this lady was like, woo, or something like that. And I said, thanks, Mom.
no doubt. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we'll take a real quick break and thank our sponsors for helping support bluegrass music. And when we come back, we'll get Josh to whip out his bourgeois guitar and play us a tune. And then we will have Junior Sisk on the line. So y'all hang with us. We'll be
Don't
right
go
back.
nowhere.
Allen Music, located in historic downtown Paducah, Kentucky, is your source for fine guitars and all types of acoustic instruments. At Allen Music, we are experienced and enthusiastic players of everything we offer. Allen Music is family-owned and has been serving musicians since 1976. So stop by and thank them for supporting bluegrass music. Allen Music, 215 Kentucky Avenue, downtown Paducah, or check them out online at allenmusicshop.com.
Custom Automotive in Calvert City, Kentucky has been a family-operated business for over 50 years. When you call Custom Automotive, you'll talk to an experienced tire and wheel expert. They install wheels and tires on thousands of vehicles every year in addition to their online sales. Stop by and thank them for supporting bluegrass music. Custom Automotive, Highway 62, Calvert City, Kentucky, 270-395-7611. Or visit them online at customautoonline.com.
The Lake House Inn at Sled Creek has undergone complete renovation in 2023. Our outdoor space is unlike any other at Kentucky Lake. With 2 in-ground pools, 18 rooms, and 4 cabins, we're just a stone's throw away from Kentucky Dam. If you're looking to make memories with your family, this nostalgic inn is for you. Welcome to your lake house, where modern meets rustic and becomes home. Reserve online at lakehouseinn.com.
Welcome back to the Hometown Bluegrass Show. Josh has whooped out his bourgeois guitar and there's a blue chip pick stuck in that thing everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Just in case one goes flying, I got another one.
Have you ever dropped a pick on stage?
Oh, my gosh, dude. Yeah, almost all the time.
Really? I've not done that yet. That's a big fear of mine because with my big fat belly, I can't bend over in front of everybody and pick it up. So
Yeah.
I always have to strategically scoot something over to pick it up.
You know, I keep one in my pocket usually.
Yeah, that's
and
what
then I keep one up here. And then there for a while when I was with Rhonda, I'd buy at the music stores, I'd buy them things that pop onto the mic stand that hold picks.
Yeah.
I've done that too.
Yeah, I've got one of those too. But so that doesn't change the tuning, sticking it right there. That doesn't mess with it upside the nut. Like
I mean, if it does, I fix it, you know.
Yeah.
So now if I was to go yanking that thing out, it might be a little out of tune. I just have to, you know, but whatever.
Yeah.
It might be a little out of tune anyway.
Bluegrass, you know, it's close enough, right? So,
That's right.
So what are you gonna play for us, man?
Actually, I thought I'd play one of these songs that I did at that's off of Tony's Church Street Blues album, if that would be all right.
I was hoping you would do that.
This is a Norman Blake song.
What is it?
It's called Orphan Annie. Riding in planes and hailing cabs, I've been on the road so long, looking for the sunshine every day that I've been missing so long. It's 2 blocks over and 1 street across, and uptown round and down, Lord, there must be some just hiding out somewhere, someplace I ain't found. Annie, Orphan Annie, are your Nashville nights still warm? Somewhere in the west of town, well, it's coming up a storm. Are your rivers dark and muddy where the green swamp willows grow? 9 more days and I'll be home, Lord, backing off the road. Picking and a grinning and a playing the game. Listen to what I say. Lord, I wish I was down in Nashville town, about 5th and Broadway, where the Cumberland rolls, the soft breeze blows, and homes that ain't far away. But here I sit in New York City, just hanging out every day. Annie, Orphan Annie, are your Nashville nights still warm? Somewhere in the west of town, well, it's coming up a storm. Are your rivers dark and muddy where the green swamp willows grow? 9 more days and I'll be home, Lord, backing off the road. Annie, Orphan Annie, are your Nashville nights still warm? Somewhere to the west of town, well, it's coming up a storm. Are your rivers dark and muddy where the green swamp willows grow? 9 more days and I'll be home, Lord, backing off the road. 9 more days and I'll be home, Lord, backing off the road.
Well, that was beautiful.
Thanks.
Little Orphan Annie.
Yeah, I said it's something about instead of home ain't far away, I think I said homes, but that's okay.
Oh,
you know,
well,
Holmes, she ain't far away, man. Holler at old Holmes.
Hey, if you mess up one word out of all them songs, I'd say it's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I did. I will say I did okay. I didn't mess up too bad.
Yeah.
There wasn't nothing I couldn't recover from.
What'd you have your lyrics on? An iPad? Or?
Yes, I took my iPad up there with me. Just I even went over here to allenmusicshop.com and I bought myself a little thing that holds the iPad that screws to the microphone stand.
Yeah.
Which I had one somewhere at home, but it's not very good. It was kind of cheap, so I got one that was from here. It was pretty good,
Yeah,
and
I
it
bought
worked
mine from
very
here too.
well.
The Hercules brand, I think, is one I bought, but
This one, he didn't have any of the Hercules when I bought it. I got the other one. I can't remember the brand, but I can't think of it. But anyway, it's great. It's awesome.
yeah, that's a neat way to do it for sure. A lot of people do that these days, but that's a lot of songs to remember. So you have to
It
sing
is, man.
Saturday with Southern Legacy and all those songs. And then,
And they were 90-minute sets, you know.
oh wow,
So, yeah.
How long was the Tony set?
I did the entire album, which was probably 40 minutes, and then like a handful of songs that people wanted to hear. Just did like some requests and whatnot until I think I filled the whole slot though. I mean, it worked out well. Cindy Baucom was the MC, and I said, Cindy, how are we on time? She said, you have 10 minutes. And I was like, all right, we're going to end with this one. And of course, they wanted me to do Freeborn Man, so I had to do that. Yeah.
You didn't do that during the set because that's on that album, right?
No. That's
Freeborn's not on. That's right.
on
You're
that
right.
album.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Jerusalem Ridge I was thinking about, but yeah. You always got to do Freeborn, don't you?
I always got to, man.
Yeah. Well, that's just part of who you are.
I call that my Mule Skinner blues. I have to
right.
do that because Rhonda always had to do Mule Skinner blues. Didn't
Yeah,
matter if
exactly.
she was 13 or 50. She had to do Mule Skinner blues every time. She said, I hate that song.
Well, that's why we recorded this little stinger, see?
Well, I've I've been listening to the Hometown Bluegrass Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that may go down in history as just your song. Like Junior. We're going to talk to Junior Sisk here in a little bit, and So he's got a lot of signature songs as well. So
Rounder at 21 is a really big one for him, man.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So.
he drank whiskey for his liver and smoked cigarettes for his lungs. He loved the women for his ego and died a rounder at 21.
That's awesome. Who wrote that song?
I don't know. We'll have to ask him that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great song. Probably one he's known for sure. So, well, thank you for playing that, man. And I'll put a picture and a short video clip on our Facebook page so you guys can check that out. And we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to Junior Sisk. How's that sound to you?
All right. Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, sounds good to me too. We'll be back right after this. Unlimited Graphics in La Center, Kentucky is a full-service advertising specialty product company specializing in custom printing, screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. Our job is to make your job easier. For almost 40 years, we have been serving customers all across America and would welcome the opportunity to earn your business no matter where you're located. Visit us online at unlimitedgraphics.com, and remember, promoting your business is our business.
For over 50 years, Puckett's Jewelry in Benton, Kentucky has been a trusted choice for fine jewelry that will last a lifetime and help you celebrate life's most precious moments. The new owners, Bart and Hannah Lewis, are excited to continue the Puckett's Jewelry legacy in Marshall County and are proud to support bluegrass music. Puckett's Jewelry on the Square in Benton, Kentucky. Visit them online at puckettsjewelry.com.
Craving the cheesiest pizza in town? Look no further than Mimi's Pizza and Subs in La Center, Kentucky. Our pizzas are loaded with melted cheese and fresh toppings that'll make your taste buds dance. But that's not all. At Mimi's, they have live music including some of the best bands in bluegrass music. Whether you're a bluegrass fan or just love a good slice, Mimi's Pizza and Subs is your go-to destination. Mimi's Pizza and Subs, where every pizza is a masterpiece.
Well, hey, everybody, welcome back to the Hometown Bluegrass Show. I am Tim Batts along with
Josh Williams here.
my buddy Josh, and
That's
we are
right.
sitting here downtown Paducah, Kentucky, in far western Kentucky at Allen Music Shop recording this podcast, and we are just plumb tickled because we've got a legend in bluegrass music that's joining us tonight, Mr. Junior Sisk. How are you, buddy?
Hey, guys. Great to be with y'all.
Yeah, man.
Man, we're glad
I
you're
wish I was in the studio with you.
Well, we do too, but, we'll do what we can do. We'll take what we can get.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. So you're in Nashville tonight, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to do a Sirius XM tomorrow and
Yeah.
do banjo radio, I think, while I'm out here. And then I got a boogie on back to go play Grays Mountain on Friday. So kind of busy and rushed, but I always take time for the fans and radio.
That's awesome,
That's what
man.
it's all about.
Yes, sir.
Without you folks, a lot of people have never heard of me. So I'll pay homage to who takes care of us, who really takes care of us, and that's the one. Y'all are the ones.
Well, we appreciate you, man. We scream your name from the rooftops. We want everybody to know about you and what all's going on. So, what is going on with you lately, man? You've got some new music coming out.
Yeah, we just released the new project. We on March 29th. If There's a Will, There's a Way on Mountain Fever Records. That's my new CD, and we released 2 singles to start with. Long Hard Road, A Sharecropper's Dream. That's an old, I got it from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, but actually Rodney Crowell wrote that thing, and he sent me a personal message, and he thanked me for doing his song. And man, I thought that was just something else. I mean, what a great songwriter, and
Yeah, man.
what a great career he had. It tore me up when I got that, and I thank him so much. And I'll see if you have anything else that nobody's got, send it my way too.
Shoot, yeah.
Well, what a great song.
He's the man. And then
sure
the
is.
second one was A Man Like Me. That was an old Roger Miller country tune that me and Dan Tominski, we recorded that thing back before Old Brother Where Art Thou. I mean, probably 5 years before that come out and on a solo project, but the guy never would put it out. So I've waited this long, and I just called Dan back in, and he come back in, and we put it on the new project, and that was a second single. And I think they released Memories of Mother with me and Ricky Skaggs for Mother's Day, and that's always been a dream of mine because I was born and raised on the Stanley Brothers, but me and Tim Massey, my cousin, we were raised on the Second Generation project with Ricky Skaggs and Keith Whitley.
Mm-hmm.
We learned every song off that project, and that's where that song come from. I mean, it comes from the Stanley Brothers, but we learned it from Keith and Ricky.
Well,
so
they're both pretty good versions.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I was tickled to death with them to even say yes, they helped me out on it. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's been a great project for me, and look forward to digging down through it and keep bringing singles out, and it's doing really well for us. I'm tickled.
That's great. Well, you got so much great music out there. I tell you what impressed me the most in the recent years is how Load the Wagon. I mean, it just hung out at number one for like 6 months straight or something, didn't it? Back in 2020.
Yep, sure was 6 months in a row. That's the biggest single I've ever done. Well, the whole project done well for us, but Load the Wagon really done good. I guess, I'll go ahead and mention the band members right now. Tony Mabe, he's not only a great banjo player, straight bluegrass banjo player, but he's also a great clawhammer banjo, and he can play any instrument that you want him to play, and can sing any part we need him to play. And the lovely Heather Berry Mabe, what a wonderful voice she has. And I'm just tickled to death to have that couple with me. And Jonathan Dillon on the mandolin, he's another one that can play any part and sing any part and drive the bus and work on the bus.
Yeah. he's always a good one. Yeah, yeah. And a great young man to boot, too.
He is. And this year will be 11 years he's been with me. That's unheard of these days. And
that is.
I tell you, I always say that I don't think I could do it without him. That's the truth, because he's really helped me down through the years. And then we got a youngin from over around Oakboro, North Carolina, playing the bass, Kurt Love, and he's just solid as a rock on the bass. So we're just that's the band today, and we're enjoying it. They actually have a new project that'll be out here before too long on Pine Castle Records. They have a single out now, Roll On Mississippi, that's doing really well for them. So I'm tickled to death, because my goal is to keep them going and me to pick out about 10 or 15 shows a year here in the next few years. I'm going to keep rolling pretty hard as I can for the next few years, but I'm going to start easing out of it and just picking my favorite festivals and shows and stuff, and keep putting out some CDs and let them roll on with it. And, I'm just trying to push them right now a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you there. I mean, you've had such a long career. I mean, when did you start playing and traveling the most? Like, how old were you?
Well, I started out when I was about 14, when Dad bought me a upright bass instead of a motorcycle for Christmas. I had to. I remember Christmas morning. Yeah, well, Christmas morning, I looked out on the truck, and he said, "Your gifts out there on the back of the truck," and it was wrapped up in a big old tarp, and I just noticed it was a motorcycle. And I went out there, and there was an old Ema Hart bass. So I figured I couldn't ride. Well, I got a motorcycle the next year, but anyway, started out on the bass, and I actually was playing bass with Wyatt Rice in Santa Cruz when we first started, my first professional gig, and I played there for a little while, and Timmy actually switched over from guitar, and he started playing bass, and I played second guitar to Wyatt Rice. And man, I learned a lot from Wyatt. That's one of the best rhythm or lead guitar players in the business.
Absolutely.
And it was so much fun. We traveled together about 3 years or 4 years maybe with Wyatt Rice in Santa Cruz. And then after the band broke up, me and Timmy and Elmer Burchett from right around your area right there, he stayed in there with us, and we formed the first Rambler's Choice. And after that, I moved on played with Lost and Found for about 6 months. Then after that, offer to go with Alan Bobby and Terry Balcom, Balcom Bobby and Blue Ridge. I was with Blue Ridge for 5 years, and I think we recorded 3 projects together. And then after we disbanded from them, Timmy was out of work and I was too. We got back together, and that's where the Junior Sisk and Rambler's Choice came to life around 2008. And then we've been doing that until I decided, went through so many band members at the time, I decided to just name it Junior Sisk. You know, that way, if they see my name, they would know me. And I've never carried a bad band out there. I've been really blessed by that. I've always had great musicians to back me and great material to draw from. I've had some great songwriters down through the years, and you know that's what makes your career right there is putting out good songs. And I just been very blessed by that, and good musicians, and I'm tickled to death with the band I have right now, and we're up to date.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Last time I saw you guys live, I think was last summer at Rudy Fest, and man, you guys are just killing it. And I've seen you live many times, but that was the last time. But man, it was a show. What a set you guys put on.
Well, they're a good bunch to play with on stage, but you know, you become a family after traveling together so long. So everybody's got to get along, and this is one of the best bands that I've ever had. As far as we all get along, there's no arguments, no nothing. It's straight ahead bluegrass, and they're eat up with it. They're all time picking. The less I pick, and that's why they're getting better, and I'm kind of slipping. I don't play like they do all the time. I mean, every time we stop for a little break, they got their instruments in their hand. They're working on songs and stuff, and I'm trying to remember what I've done the past 35 years.
Trying to remember all the words, ain't you?
Yeah, I always ask them when I'm on stage, do we have any requests? And it might take 5 or 10 minutes before I hear one that I know. but I do have, I think, about 17 CDs, 17 projects out now, counting all the bands I've been together with. So I do have a bunch of songs to go through, and it's hard to remember them way back then. But I'm trying now to pay tribute. That's what I've always said. That's my main goal, is to pay tribute to old country music and the founding fathers of bluegrass music, the first generation and the second generation and that's what I'm doing. I'm digging back what I call side B numbers, you know, Flat and Scruggs and Stanley and all them. They had big hits on all their LPs, but they had hidden treasures amongst them, and that's what I'm digging back and bringing back. In the same way with these old country songs. Old country, classic country is bluegrass today, in my opinion. The new country music is a different genre altogether. So,
there's nothing country about it.
No, exactly. It's pop or new wave or something. I don't know, but you know, as long as I can breathe and sing a little bit, I'm gonna do what I want to do for the rest of my career.
That's great.
Well, kudos to you for that. I mean, that's a great banner to carry on for sure.
Well, I appreciate it, and it seems to go over pretty well. We play with a lot of the newer bands, a newgrass style, but you know, you throw in a traditional. You know, you got to put butts in a seat at festivals, and you got to mix it up. And I admire Billy Strings and all these folks out here doing what they're doing today. Just only puts a feather in bluegrass hat, is what I think. And you know, a lot of people don't like what he does or whatever, but I'll tell you what, I love what he does, because he's bringing back the old stuff too and doing it his style. That's the main thing right now. When youngins ask me today, what's the ticket, or how do you make it work in bluegrass music? I said, well, you can try to copy somebody, but it's already been done. I mean, why would you want to sound exactly like the Stanley Brothers or Flat and Scruggs? Just, you can do their songs, but make it your style, because once it was done, when they done it, it was done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everything I do the Junior Sisk style, but I'm still paying tribute to those guys.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that. I mean, you have your own style, and it's distinguishable, and it's just held up over the years better than most, that's for sure. So.
Well, I appreciate it. And the same thing Josh is doing today. I mean, he's paying tribute to his hero, Tony Rice, and J.D. Crowe and all those guys. I mean, I admire what he does just as well. He's doing the same thing.
Well, I try to, I wouldn't be, I'm like you, I wouldn't be who I am today without those guys, and,
Exactly. Yeah.
so, I did want to ask you something though, because I noticed on the Load the Wagon album, you, had re-recorded Rounder at 21.
Yeah.
How many times is that only the second time you've actually recorded it? Because the original was on Wyatt's album, right? It was on a Santa Cruz album.
It was on my very first project ever with White Rice in Santa Cruz. And it's out of print now. Everything on Rounder Records, the first Rambler's Choice and the White Rice in Santa Cruz project, Picture in a Tear, both of those are out of print now. And I get so many requests for it. I have to do it about every show. Mm-hmm. Everybody hollers for it. So I decided to record it again and pretty much done it just straight ahead with just me and the guitar.
Yeah.
And they still holler for it today. And I learned that song from a group called the Bluegrass Band. You remember it was Butch Robbins, I think, and Larry Stevenson and Alan O'Brien. And I can remember it very well. I was living at home. I was, I guess, 15, 16 years old, and I heard that song one day on a Christiansburg, Virginia Bluegrass show. And I called him back up and I said, would you play that one more time for me? He said, well, we just played it a while ago. He said, give us a little bit. So I waited around and I called him back and they played it. And I taped it on a little cassette player, sat there and learned that song. I just loved it so much. That's a Jimmy Skinner song.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I'll be dang.
It sure is. And Alan O'Brien sang the fire out of it, man. I just loved it and loved the words and the way he done it. And I started doing it after that, and that's my signature song all down through the years. If I'm noted for anything, I'm noted for. He died around at 21. I made it way past that.
Well, we're thankful you did, man. We both did. Yeah. I'm grateful for that, but that's just like I say, or like you said, actually, that's your most famous song, and people know you for that song, and that's why I wanted to ask, because I know you've done that song for years, and I just was curious if you had recorded it more times than that, or if this was only the second time ever. So
that was the second time. That's the first time I've ever told anybody exactly where that song come from. I learned it from the Bluegrass Band. It was what it was called, just a white album. I can't remember who I was on there, but I know it was Alan O'Brien and I think Larry Stevenson and Butch Robbins. And that's the first version of it I heard. I'd like to hear Jimmy. I never heard Jimmy Skinner's version of it, but I bet it was good. Just singing Brakeman, he was a songwriting fool.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, definitely.
Well, you got so many great songs. I tell you, one of my favorites is a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I love that song.
Oh man, I'm out here at Nashville. I just sent Ronnie Bowman a message. I said, I'm in your town tonight. I said, where are you at? And he said, I'm in Dallas, Texas, trying to get back. Well, what do you got to do tomorrow? And I told him what all I had to do. So he said, if I get back in time, then maybe we can meet for lunch tomorrow. He wrote that tune, and it was on the very first Rambler's Choice project, which is out of print now as well.
Oh, okay.
But I still do that song. We're doing it today. I mean, we get a lot of requests for it, and it's one of my favorite. Well, it's not really gospel, but I call it a gospel number.
Yeah, I do too.
It talks about three. I always say it talks about three of my favorite subjects: God, Mama, and fried chicken.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Well, that's awesome.
You can't go wrong with that combination.
No doubt. Well, we're going to have Ronnie on next week. I think we're supposed to interview him and have him on, so we'll have to ask him about that. So,
yeah, we recorded the White Rice and Santa Cruz project at Ronnie's house upstairs. With White brought all his equipment, and we recorded it upstairs at Ronnie's house here in Nashville, the very first time.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, White done it all. White brought his equipment. We went upstairs in Ronnie's house and second floor there, and we recorded it all right there. The very first Rambler's Choice.
Oh, I'll be dang.
Yeah, sure did.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Fond memories there.
No doubt. So I know you and Josh have known each other a long time. Have y'all ever shared the stage together? Do you remember, Josh?
Yeah, I think we've done several things at the Mac together.
Yeah.
But we haven't recorded together, have we?
Not yet.
We need to fix that.
I'm ready anytime you are. You,
Well, let's
got
make
my
it
number
happen,
and I
man.
got yours.
All right.
Let's make it happen. Absolutely. Yeah. I love it. I can cut a little bit of tenor. You better get me quick because I'm going downhill. But I can sing with your voice. I can sing a little tenor. I'd love to cut one with you sometimes. We pick out the right one. Let's make it happen.
Let's do it, man. That would be so much fun. I would love to do that.
That'd be great. Yeah. Like I said, you've always been one of my favorite singers and guitar players by far. And
thank you, man.
And a good friend. I know I can always call on you for anything. And
absolutely,
you're right there and back at you.
I appreciate that.
And he can still remember the words to the songs right now. He's getting up there.
I know.
I know.
He never ceases to amaze me. Well, every podcast we say, all right, we're going to do a little guitar lesson. Josh's going to pick a little something, and I'll just pull a song out of my butt and throw it out there, and he'll go, okay, and he'll just know every word. And I'm like, how do you do that?
And if I recall right, I seen him at, I guess it was there at Camp Springs this past weekend. Is that where he was at?
Yeah.
And I think he was wearing a cowboy hat. And I said, my goodness, what in the world? I remember.
Sure enough, man.
I remember Terry Balcom years after I'd quit, or we broke up with Balcom, Bobby, and Blue Ridge. And I think he went back with Dole and all this. And the first time he seen me, I started wearing a hat when I started the Junior Sisk band instead of Rambler's Choice, and started wearing the suit and the whole 9 yards. And Balcom walked by me. He said, "Nice lid, Sisk."
Nice lid.
So the next time I seen Balcom and Drive, I cut him hard. And we was playing a show at a high school somewhere. And I walked by before he went on stage, and I said, "Nice looking lid you got there, Bob." He just looked at me and grinned. You made me think of it this weekend when I seen you with your lid on.
Well, man, anymore, as old as I've got, I don't know if you have the same problem or not, but I have gotten to where if I don't wear something like that on a sunny day, I'm in trouble.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's much thinner up there now.
I'm doing the Barney Fife type deal right now. My hair's about 10 inches long, but it'll come down in front of my face. I have to peel it all the way back to cover all the bald spots.
That's funny.
I look like one of the monsters in the morning when I get up.
Oh man. Thanks for that visual.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, you need to, you ain't got any good road stories about Josh that we can burn him on or anything? Any ammunition I can have?
I ain't got none I could tell.
Nope.
It's a family show, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. I do know one thing. We sit up many a nights and picked and sang all night long together. And I can't believe we haven't recorded something together as much as we sang together. But this was years ago. I mean, we're talking back in the probably Triple Creek Park down in Rocky Mount, Virginia. Mm-hmm. That's the first time I remember hanging out with him and just was amazed by, I named my Tony Rice tune, and he would kick it off and sing it just like him and pick just like him. And I was just in awe. And then I'd name a Stanley Brother song, and he'd be right there with me. And, so we go way back, but we just ain't never recorded. So we're going to make that happen.
Yeah,
that's
we're going to fix
on
that.
my bucket list.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I tried to stump him the other night. We was recording, and he said, well, what do you want me to play? And we're recording. And I said, I'm going to get him. And I said, play Me and My Guitar, Tony Rice. And you know how many words is in that song. It's like,
oh, yeah.
And he just remembered, maybe, let me see. Okay. And he just took off and knew every word. And I'm like, good Lord.
That's it. Yeah. Well, when you get I used to know all the words to all the Stanley Brothers stuff. And, when I had to start learning all my words and remembering them, I forgot that stuff. I hate it today. A lot of people got on me there for a while saying, well, you used to jam with us all night long. And now you don't play and you don't know all the words to this Stanley Brothers stuff. And I said, well, many songs as I've put out, I'm good to remember those, much less remember back when I was 16, 17. I mean, I was really into the Stanley Brothers. I remember sitting at the foot of Dad's bed at 13, 14, 15 years old and put the Stanley Brother LP on and sing try to sing exactly like Carter Stanley, and then I jump up and try to do the tenor like Ralph Stanley, and then I try to do the guitar like George Shuffler. So, I knowed every one of them back in those days. We're talking, I ain't gonna say 30 some years ago, but it was easy then when you're young. It's easy to remember all that stuff, and they're your heroes.
Right.
But there's some that I've done down through the years. We still do at least one Stanley Brothers song on all of our sets because it was drilled into me at a young age, and I thank Dad for doing that. I was born and raised on the Stanley Brothers, and when the Johnson Mountain Boys came out in the 80s, I was living in the D.C. area, playing at a little place called Partners 2 in Centerville, Virginia, with a house band, and we'd open up for all the big artists that come in there, and I kept telling Arnold Hobbs, he's the one that owned it at the time, I said, you need to bring the Johnson Mountain Boys in there, because when I heard them, they lit a fire under me, and I moved back to Farm, Virginia, and I heard that they were playing at the Partners 2, and I drove all the way back up 5 hours back to Centerville, Virginia, and went in there, and the house was full. And Arnold come to me, he said, you're right. He said, they bring a crowd. And I said, I told you that 5-6 years ago. And, energy and excitement, that's what I like on stage. And boy, they brought it. They brought it and brought it hard. Dudley Connell is still one of my heroes, and one of my best friends. He was amazing. He'd done the same thing. He'd do the lead and then jump to the tenor, and one of the best rhythm guitar players in the business. And he's still today kicking butt and taking names.
Oh yeah, man.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. So awesome. Well, Junior, man, I know you've got to get some rest. So tomorrow you're going to be on Sirius XM, which when this podcast comes out, it'll probably just be over, but you're going to do that and some banjo radio with Kyle Cantrell, I guess.
Absolutely. Looking forward to both of those. Yeah. I don't know when any of that will come out. It's always pre-recorded, and they'll edit a bunch of stuff out that I mess up. So
we don't do that here. We down and dirty on the Hometown Bluegrass Show.
That's right.
All right. That's why I'm trying to be on my A game here. I know this will be straight ahead for you.
Right, exactly. See, I got Josh as my co-host, so I have to use this censor button a lot.
I hear that.
But sometimes I'm late on it.
Hey, it's Bluegrass.
That's right. That's right. We're not polished for sure. We're kind of like a polished herd on this
That's
show.
right. We are definitely a polished herd.
That's right. Well, we appreciate you just taking a few minutes with us, man, and we just can't imagine the legend you've been in bluegrass music and what you mean to this industry. And man, I just hope you stick around for more than a few more years. That's for sure. So,
yeah,
no, I'm hanging there as long as I'm able to sing a little bit. I got Heather. She's a great rhythm player right now, so all I have to do is put a few G runs in there and a few walk downs and walk ups, and that's what I like. Makes me a little lazy, but I like it. She's strong. She's strong on the rhythm, and
oh yeah,
I got a great band back. I mean, I always say they make me sound a whole lot better than what I am.
yeah. Well, maybe we can get you and Josh recording together again soon. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's
We're going to do it.
And then the next time we'll be talking about me and Josh's single on the next project. How about something like that?
That's right.
Let's do it, man. That sounds great.
Well,
Love to do it.
Well, we want to play one of your songs. We'll let you go, and then we'll play one of your songs. But what's one that you would want us to play?
One of my favorites on the last project is the first song on there. This was sent to me by, David, Lindsay. I can't remember his name. David Lindsay and Matt Lindsay sent me this song, and here's a perfect example of not just when you get a CD, don't think you're the only one that they're sending it to, because they're not. They're passing it out to the other artists. It sit on my counter for about 2 weeks, and I picked it up and finally listened to it, and I heard this song called "What a Wonderful Life." Mm-hmm. And I called him right away, and I said, man, I want to put a hold on that. And he said, man, I'm sorry, it's already gone. So Spinney Brothers recorded it back around 2012, I think it was. So I've waited 12 years to re-record it. And it's just one of my favorite songs. You know, the way times are now, times is tough, and everything that's going on in around the country and all over. We need a good, happy song. And this is one of my favorites because it's a happy song. We need more happy songs. I'm tired of knocking her in the head and throwing her in the Knoxville River. You know what I mean?
Or baiting her with a bicycle chain, or
Yeah. See, now you can kill them and throw them in the river, but you can't say I'm not even do it. Just say you're going to do it, and can't even do it anymore.
Oh, I know
I'm
it,
bringing
man.
it back before I retire. That's going to be. I'm going to kick every set off with that.
That was so funny.
Bicycle chain sounds like a Dateline story.
It is. Yeah.
Oh man,
Graduated from killing them with shotguns to bicycle chains.
That's right.
Many a woman have died in a bluegrass song by a shotgun blast.
yeah, shotgun
Ain't that
blast
the
or a knife or something, or saber. A lot of times they'll call it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Stabbed her with a knife. That's right. Yeah.
Well, Junior, thank you, buddy, man. We love you. We love your music, and we just can't thank you enough for spending some time with us tonight.
For sure, man. Thanks so much.
Well, love you guys as well, and I appreciate everything you do for bluegrass music, and look forward to seeing both of y'all here really soon.
All right, buddy. Sounds
We'll
good.
look forward to that too, man.
Well, we're going to play What a Wonderful Life by Junior Sisk, and you have a good night, buddy.
All right. Good evening, and God bless both of y'all and
God
everybody.
bless you, brother.
Thank you, man. Bye-bye.
Just crossed my mind lying here next to you. You have made all my dreams come true. I've got more love than most men ever see. What a wonderful life this has turned out to be. Don't wake me up if it's only a dream. I don't want to know if it's not what it seems. Don't know anybody as lucky as me. What a wonderful life this has turned out to be. There was a time when I wandered alone, a vagabond heart searching for a home. Till you came along, I just couldn't see what a wonderful life this could turn out to be. Don't wake me up if it's only a dream. I don't want to know if it's not what it seems. Don't know anybody as lucky as me. What a wonderful life this has turned out to be. No, don't wake me up if it's only a dream. I don't want to know if it's not what it seems. Don't know anybody as lucky as me. What a wonderful life it has turned out to be. With me loving you and you loving me. What a wonderful life this has turned out to be.
What a Wonderful Life. Mr. Junior Sisk. That's from his If There's a Will, There's a Way album. That's his latest project and has great songs on it, like A Man Like Me that he did with Dan Tominski, and Long Hard Road, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band song, and it's got some great ones on there. So, man, that was good to talk to Junior.
Yeah, it was, man. It was very cool.
I think he was serious about wanting to record with you.
Oh, I hope he was, because I was.
That's awesome.
We need to do that.
That would be awesome. Just one of the, there's a few people in bluegrass music that just have the iconic voice. Like, you know it when they start singing, you're one of them. And there's a few others just like, hey, that's so-and-so, and he's definitely one of them.
Yep. Yeah, you can definitely pick out Junior's voice.
Yeah, super, super nice guy. So wish him all the best. Well, man, we are so excited to have him on. And it's been a great show, man.
Yeah, dude.
So good.
Always fun. I love doing this.
Yep. It's a lot of fun. Well, we're going to let you go, and we thank you for listening to the Hometown Bluegrass Show.
We sure do.
And, hey, check us out on Facebook, the Hometown Bluegrass Show. You can look us up on there because we want to hear from you. We want to hear where your hometown is and where you listen to great bluegrass music, where you grew up, and who your favorite artists are, and all that great stuff. We want to know you're listening, and subscribe and like to our podcast and channel. And you can catch this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and YouTube and timbats.com and any place you listen to your podcast. So please share the word because we would love to get the word out about the show.
Or we sure would.
So, well, Ben, I guess we'll just bring this show to an end. What you say?
Well, I guess if we gotta, we gotta.
Well, Mordecai always takes us out, and he's a good one to do it. So
He really is,
Yeah. This guy's singing it ain't too bad either.
Yeah, he's all right. But I'm a bigger fan of Mordecai's myself.
You've been listening to the Hometown Bluegrass Show, presented by AllenMusicShop.com.
Bye, y'all.
This has been a Bats Creative Audio production.